What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we did reveal the 1JZ for the IS300, and in today's video, we're gonna be finally tearing it down, and I'm super stoked. This is gonna be my first engine teardown, and I'm not gonna be taking it all the way down. I'm gonna be doing the long block, so what that means is pretty much the heads and the block together, and with all the accessories off, so intake manifold, turbo manifold, all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure we can knock it out in a couple of hours. It's not gonna be too crazy, but I think it's gonna be dope for you guys because you guys are really gonna actually see in depth how an engine looks all the way teared down and the process of doing everything. This Harbor Freight engine stand is rated for 1/2 ton, and you can already see the engine is sagging. So this motor, I believe, should weigh about like 700 pounds, but even then, that's a lot of weight for this engine stand. So hopefully, once we take off all the accessories, it's just gonna be a lot easier. I'll give you the honors of what you want to tear apart first. Intake or turbo?
Poses.
Why?
It's easy. It's already cut.
So
ready?
Easy.
All right. Need tools.
We're gonna have to use hand tools.
Interesting.
Or honestly, we have a cheap Harbor Freight impact. We're just gonna have to get a snap-on impact and then zap it off. So Jeremiah will probably be coming over, and then we can do that later. Yeah. But we just wanted to try to get all the pulleys out, but I'm pretty sure with this we'll be fine. Alright, so Martin and I got the AC condenser off. That was a pain. I'm glad that is probably going to be the only pain, because everything else should just come off. We're going to be bolting on, I believe, my stock AC condenser. One thing I forgot to mention too, make sure if you guys are doing any engine teardowns, get Ziploc baggies and start marking shit where they go. Whether it's just a little piece of tape that's on the Ziploc or marking the Ziploc. Because you want to know when you're going to be putting it back, especially where the bolts go. You don't want to have different bolts everywhere where they're not supposed to be. So that's what we're definitely going to be doing. And right now we pretty much just have the accessories. We have the power steering and the AC condenser, and now it's pretty much time to take off all the vacuum lines and take off the intake manifold. This is my first time taking apart a 2J or 1J intake manifold. So there's actually a two-piece, kind of like a VQ. This one is just the runners, which is, I guess, part of the runners of the intake manifold. And that's where the fuel rails are at. And that's where they're gonna be shooting fuel, because this is port injection, not direct injection like the new cars, where it's straight inside the cylinder head. So I pretty much have everything taken off. The lines, still connected to the lines that go to the EVAP, but I should be able to wiggle this thing out here. And it's pretty much it. So much Japanese flowers, bro. All the leaves.
Straight up from Japan.
All the JDM leaves. This is the stock intake manifold setup. The air goes in through here, goes through these runners, and as it's going through the runners, right before the valves open, you're gonna have this fuel rail with all these individual injectors on each cylinder. They're gonna be spraying right on top of the intake valve, and that's pretty much where you get your fuel. So right now, don't take anything I say literal. I'm just brainstorming. I'm just thinking of ideas and what I'm gonna do next. Every aftermarket part that I get for this motor is probably going to be a step at a time, and that's why I can't really tell you what exact plans I'm going. This is, like I said, my first motor build, so I'm just as clueless as you guys are on what I'm gonna be doing. Yep.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm just taking shit apart.
Look how much smaller the engine looks now that everything's taken apart. That's what I love about inline. They're so skinny, but so long.
Very interesting.
Hamar.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough talking. Time for the turbo side removal. The turbine side of the turbo is always rusted because it is iron and I don't think there's any coatings on it, so it just rusts really quick. This side stays nice and pretty. There it is, guys. Holy shit. So this is a Toyota Turbo with a little HKS, looks like a diaphragm. I don't know if that's OEM. Let me know down below if you guys know the history of this motor. But, oh shit, coolant everywhere. Oh, it's heavy. We still have more things to take apart, but most of the stuff is coming off pretty easy, and we have, I would say, 70% of the stuff off already. It's crazy how small these little ports are. You would think it'd be bigger.
I was gonna try getting some fresh air, but
we didn't even know there was a party going on. That's proper insulation right there, brother.
pretty good.
So we just have the motor mount we're gonna take off, the alternator, water pump and stuff, I believe we get take off later. We don't really need to take that off right now because I still need to order the timing belt kit. That's when we'll remove the front, but maybe we will, just to get to the harness, to remove the whole harness from the motor. Probably what we should do. At least today, that's what we should do. Definitely gonna have to replace the motor mounts and have this piece powder coated to make sure it's all clean and nice. We're officially done with the teardown of the 1JZ. There's still a few things that we wanna tear down, especially because we wanna paint the engine block. I wanna repaint it black. And the theme for this engine, since I'm super simple, I want to have just silver and black. The next big step for this is to reseal the motor. So new valve cover gaskets, new oil pan, timing belt, tensioners, seals, and all that boring stuff that I still might do a video on because it's pretty entertaining taking apart a motor, and I know a lot of you guys probably haven't seen that before, especially on a 1JZ. So this is going to be pretty sick. But let me give you guys another quick look at how it looks. So this is the front area. Still haven't shown you guys the timing cover, which will probably be in the next video. And then you move to the intake side. These are the intake ports. If you look really closely in there, you can see the valves, which we're gonna have to obviously cover up. The oil filter housing still attached. We have to remove that so we can take off the engine mount. And this is pretty much just where the turbo is gonna be. There's some coolant hard lines running through for the water pump and for the heater hoses. But this is pretty much it for this side, and it's crazy how these are shaped differently than the intake ports. So that's pretty cool. You didn't even talk a lot, Martin, son.
Oh no, I did all the work. Well,
Today was kind of like a working day, huh?
It was actually a working day.
We didn't even really.
Not much talking. Hopefully we get it back together the right way, then I'll be cool.
Well, the good thing about that is that since we're going to be swapping in the new turbo manifold, new intake manifold, a lot of those connectors, a lot of those lines are pretty much obsolete. So we're going to be able to take those off and not worry about putting them on. So that's the only good part about this. I don't know if this is going to be a long video or not, but what I do know is it's going to be a sick build, and short videos or not, you guys are probably really going to enjoy these. So this is where I'm going to be leaving off. Hopefully the next video will be some crazy pulls on Marian's G35, because we're still waiting on some tuning stuff. So hopefully it'll be uploaded before this. If not, the final dyno video and all that stuff will be uploaded after. But everything's pretty much been on hold, unfortunately, because we're still waiting on the tuner to send back more tunes, get it all buttoned up. I still have to fix a few tweaks on the E30 to get it running. And the IS, still waiting on parts from Russia. You guys know I've been waiting since we put on the authentic TRD kit on there. God, Corona, dude. You guys need to chill. But on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you guys on the next one.